and that is why Biden is angry. During a phone conversation with Netanyahu, Biden said, "Stop bullshitting me and don't take the president for granted." Sinwar is a very tough and ruthless person, and him being in charge of Hamas jeopardizes the ceasefire deal and hope for peace. The new chief of Hamas, after the assassination of Ismail Haniyeh, has been operating from tunnels since October 7. His exact whereabouts are only known to one or two people, as he knows Israel can get him anytime. He is believed to have survived 7 previous Israeli assassination attempts. Deif's life was so secretive that despite him being on the Mossad hit list, only 3 photos of him are with Israel. This is the last video of Hamas chief Ismail Haniyeh. On August 1, the explosion that killed Haniyeh took place at around 2 a.m. local time. The guest house's puzzled staff members, which included a medical team, hurried to look into the loud noise at Hania's room, who was staying with a bodyguard. The medical team declared Hania dead immediately and attempted to revive the bodyguard, but he was also dead. The blast had broken windows and caused part of the compound wall to collapse. Zahid al-Naqlan, the leader of Palestine Islamic Jihad, was staying next door and his room was not damaged at all. This implies that Hania's assassination was well planned. IRGC said Hamas chief Ismail was killed with a short-range projectile fired from outside the guest house. The projectile weighted about 7 kgs or 15 pounds and caused a strong blast. But there is a catch. The IRCG account is at odds with reports in the Western media, which have suggested that the explosives were planted in the guest house by Israeli operatives. The New York Times reported, based on information from Iranian and American officials, that 2 Mossad agents infiltrated the guest house and planted explosives 3 months ago in 3 rooms. Iranian officials who reviewed CCTV footage confirmed that these agents left the country before detonating the bomb remotely from outside Iran. However, the operatives had received confirmation that Hania was indeed in the room at the time. The bomb was a high-tech device equipped with artificial intelligence. The accuracy and sophistication of this assassination is similar to the method used by Israel in 2020 to kill Mossad, Iran's top nuclear scientist. Many reports are suggesting that Iran is lying about the short-range projectile theory, as the second theory of Mossad agents entering a secured IRCG guest house and planting a bomb is just too embarrassing to accept, as it would highlight the degree to which Mossad can operate inside Iran. An IRGC official said that they are somewhat certain that Mossad hired agents from the IRCG unit responsible for protecting high-ranking officials. Iran has arrested 30 IRGC officials as they might be involved in the assassinations. Ismail has made multiple visits to Tehran over the years, and in many prior trips to Iran, Ismail stayed in the same room in the same complex as he stayed on the day of his death. The complex he was in was a guest house for war veterans and high-ranking IRGC officials. The initial plan was to assassinate Hania during his visit to Iran in May for the funeral of former Iranian President Raisi. However, the operation was called off due to concerns about a large crowd and likelihood of failure. US Secretary of State Anthony Blinken confirmed that the US was not aware of the assassination plot beforehand. But now reports are coming that Israel has confessed to the US that they assassinated Hania. But who was Ismail Haniyeh and why was he number 1 on the Mossad hit list? So the reason is simple. He was the number 1 guy of Hamas. Haniyeh was the chief of Hamas since 2017. However, he has been living in exile since 2019 when he left the Gaza Strip. Haniyeh had taken residence in Doha, Qatar. Hamas leaders have been residing in hotels and villas in Qatar for years. The group's 3 top leaders alone are worth a staggering 11 billion and they enjoy a life of luxury in Qatar. The political wing of Hamas in 2012 set up its headquarters in Qatar, reportedly in coordination with the US government following a request to establish a communication channel. It made sense for Israel to target Haniyeh in Iran, as Israel had reportedly promised Qatar, where the Hamas leader was living, that it would not assassinate leaders of Hamas on Qatari soil. But Mossad didn't stop at Hamas number one. Israel even killed the head of Hamas military wing, Mohammad Deif, in July airstrikes. The Osama bin Laden of Hamas was targeted in an attack that killed at least 90 people and wounded 300 in Al Mawasi, an Israeli designated safe zone west of Khan Yunis. The attack by Israeli warplanes targeted tents housing displaced Palestinians. In the aftermath of the event, the Israeli military claimed in a statement that it acted on precise intelligence to hit an area where two Hamas leaders were hiding among civilians. Deif, aged 58, was one of the founders of Qasami Brigade. The brigade is the political wing of Hamas. Deif means visitor or guest in Arabic, and many say that he has been named Deif because he is always on the move. He does not stay at one place for more than 24 hours because his location might get leaked and he might get targeted by Israelis. He was born in 1965 in Khan Yunis refugee camp. Rising up the ranks, Deif was the mastermind behind the Hamas network of tunnels beneath Gaza, and he was an expert in making bombs and missiles. His wife, 7-month-old son and 3-year-old daughter were killed in an Israeli air raid in 2014. According to reports, Deif lost an eye and sustained serious injuries in one leg in one of Israel's assassination attempts. He is believed to have survived 7 previous Israeli assassination attempts, and the most recent was in 2021. Deif has a degree in science from the Islamic University in Gaza, where he studied physics, chemistry, and biology. In 1989, during the height of First Palestinian Intifada, Deif was arrested by Israel and released after 16 months in detention. Deif's life was so secretive that despite him being on the Mossad hit list, only 3 photos of him are with Israel, 2 out of which are from 1980s. Now only one person out of the top Hamas leadership is left in the Mossad hit list, and that is Yahya Sinwar. The new chief of Hamas, after the assassination of Ismail Haniyeh, has been operating from tunnels since October 7. His exact whereabouts are only known to 1 or 2 people, as he knows Israel can get him anytime. The Israeli foreign minister said, "If we swiftly eliminate Sinwar, we wipe Hamas off the face of the earth." Sinwar is a very tough and ruthless person, and him being in charge of Hamas jeopardizes the ceasefire deal and hope for peace. And that is why Biden is angry. During a phone conversation with Netanyahu, Biden said, "Stop bullshitting me and don't take the president for granted." Biden said he wants a ceasefire deal to be reached within a week or two. Moreover, Biden emphasized that killing Haniyeh would not help to reach a deal. Now only time will tell if eliminating Yahya Sinwar will end Hamas or not. But till now, other than these two, over 42,000 people have lost their lives, out of which 15,000 were children.